Hey, this size this. And since I normally don't rehearse any of these things I make, these just me talking, that's basically what it is. It's just me talking into a mic for no reason. Oh, well, there are some reasons. I've been watching a lot of videos lately, and all of them, the bashing on the Xbox One, and I'm going to agree with a lot of them because Microsoft, from the very start, has basically done nothing but put their own foots in their mouth, fired people, ended a couple of ideas of theirs, and basically just continually just kept fucking up over and over and over and over. Why their competitor Sony has been just sitting by and just laying back on their chairs and just saying, yeah, let them keep talking. They're giving us better business every time they open up their mouths. Um, I remember back in the day when everybody just kept bashing Nintendo and their Wii U and saying this and that and this over and over and over. And now Microsoft is basically getting the bashing, and they're getting the bashing worse than what Nintendo got. And even though Nintendo's still suffering, mainly due to developers who don't want to develop for it. And of course, listening to somebody like Blackmon get up there and say, "Well, the people who made Aliens: Colonial Marines, they decided not to put their game on Wii U. Wii U fail." Only problem is, Alien Colonial Marines kind of sucked. So how is it pwning Nintendo fanboys by saying, "Oh, there's a game that's not coming to your system that's a piece of shit"? Seriously, if you're going to pwn somebody, use some actual logic. And don't say, "Oh, we're not putting a turd in your console." It's actually more of a benefit, not a failure. If you wanted to, you know, I mean, Black Bond, I know you're not going to take any criticism and say, but if you wanted to pwn somebody, pwn them on actual shitty games. It would have been a Wii U failure if they had gotten it, but they didn't. I mean, Aliens Colonial Marines, but they didn't. And there's nothing there. I know it's an old video, but it was pretty stupid. And all you're doing is just trolling people for no fucking reason. And you're just trolling them with obvious bits of information that a 5-year-old could have owned you on. Shit game, not going to a console is actually a good thing. But anyways, a lot of people are wondering about the Kinect and Xbox One. How they're forcing you to buy it and all this other crap. And I agree with most of the majority of the people at Microsoft. Fuck themselves with the damn thing in just about every way. And yeah, they sold like a million units at first, but then their sell units just wasn't soaring this high. Mainly because they found out what was going on with motion censoring games and just motion censoring in general. I mean, motion censoring in some areas, like security cameras and all that, that's great. But it's not a lucrative business. And it never was. And it's basically the same thing that killed the PSI. The PlayStation Eye died, the original one, or PlayStation Eye toy, didn't. I mean, yeah, its sales turned to complete crap, but it didn't die because, oh, the device was a piece of shit and Microsoft created a better one. You've been pwned, Sony fanboys. No, it died because it just became pointless. I mean, think of it like this. I mean, is there anything that can replace the consoles today? No. For in the future, yeah. I mean, if you have like a holodeck within the in your own room, like an actual holodeck from Star Trek: The Next Generation, you can just go in there and make your own holographic room. Trust me, you won't need a console. You can experience real fun in video games in a simulated war zone. It's so real you can even feel the dirt on your face. Just make sure the safeties are off because you don't want to have accidents. like gang members shooting you by and thinking, oh, it's just playing around. Oh wait, no, he's been shot. Or an evil Abe Lincoln, a fucking evil unicorn running around hatching up places. But anyways, yeah, I mean, consoles won't last forever, and probably neither PC gaming. But what will end up taking their place? Some, most likely holographic technology, and or plugging your brain into a computer, and actually experience going through the experience yourself. But motion censoring is not going to replace the traditional controls as of now. It's a long while before something like that happens. Microsoft got caught up in their own hype. And the fact that the Kinect sold more than the PlayStation Eye and all the PlayStation motion censoring. But it didn't beat out the Wii's motion censoring technology, even though that technology was starting to fail on Nintendo. That's why the Wii U came out, was because the Wii just stopped selling because motion censoring games were dying. And we all know where it died. It died the instant fucking Star Wars Kinect came out, along with Steel Battalion Heavy Armor. Those two games alone killed motion censoring games. It was game over. And you can literally see it in the sales. It all plummeted. Everything plummeted. And of course, Star Wars Kinect came from Microsoft, so it was obviously Nintendo's fault. According to everybody out there, it was Nintendo for producing that piece of shit. Because it said Microsoft, so they had to use their imagination and just picture Nintendo up there. I mean, Nintendo brought in a gimmick that worked, and it really did work well. And then I gotta say, Nintendo really did work motion censoring part of it. And yes, it comes included in all Wii U's. But the difference is that, the Wii U's version is cheaper! And, yeah. Microsoft really did work hard on making that Kinect, and it really is a great machine. It's just that making it a primary device and having them run around and shake their hands around, it just doesn't do anything for games. It just becomes like the PlayStation Eye. PlayStation Eye was worse, but it just becomes completely pointless and useless. And after a while, you just stop giving a rat's ass, and that's what killed motion censoring games. Just you just don't want to do it anymore. It's like, why am I waving my arms around like a complete idiot? I mean, why? And not only that, the people who are making the games for these motion controls primarily sucked. I mean, they work great as accessories, like the new upcoming Disney Infinity. You get these little toys and put them on there, and it works for Disney Infinity. And yeah, Skylanders. But does it work right there for, everything else? No. Because it's just like, Harmonix's little toy guitars for the Guitar Hero series. Disney Infinity Portal will fall into the Skylanders and all this other shit. Once you're done with it, it's done. You're done with it, and then you put it in the closet and you go right back to just playing your old games the old-fashioned way. That's how it goes. Dance Dance Central was pretty much the only game for Xbox that actually utilized the system to its fullest. I mean, utilized the Kinect to its fullest. And after that, once it was done, because here's the thing, Microsoft might as well just given Harmonix the entire platform for the Kinect and given it to them and just say, oh, it's now just known as the Kinect. It's just now known as the Dance Dance Revolution for all the systems, and it's just a accessory, and it'll just censor dancing motions. Of course, yeah, and make it a hell of a lot more cheaper, not put so much shit in there. Do I think Microsoft's going to? But yeah, that's the way I see it. But anyways, do I think Microsoft's going to come out with a version of Xbox now that they've announced that you no longer need Kinect, required, which means everybody's going to get their Xbox Ones are going to get a fucking $100 fucking door stopper. Congratulations. Yes, the Kinect was a great machine and it does fully work. It's not a piece of crap. It's just that it falls to obscurity once its height of its video game making, hits its highest point, and it will just fall and just become completely pointless. You just stop giving a rat's ass. And when it's over, it just becomes another junk pile to add on to the fucking harmonics guitars and portals for Skylanders and Disney Infinity. And they should have just made that into an add-on for Dance Dance Central and just left it at that. Because the voice controls are useless and pointless. It really doesn't add anything. In fact, motion controls never added anything. Except maybe that it will work for a few games and then you just give it up and just sit back down and get your controller and do it the old fashioned way. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to agree with that fucking asshole Michael Pachter because I hate Michael Pachter. I still think he's the scum of the fucking universe. But he did say that Microsoft definitely made a mistake with the Kinect and added it in there. The problem is, as of now, Microsoft, and this is the reason why you're buying it now. And I've heard all the other reasons, and they're all a bunch of idiots, basically. Microsoft has already made all the packages and shit, and then had to cram those headsets in there at the last minute because they clusterfucked that one up real bad. But the thing is, they've already got these boxes already set and ready to ship and ready to go to all their masses, and they're being put up in the and as well being put together in these factories. They don't have the time right now to go in there and start ripping connects out of each and every box. They just can't. They didn't make any plans ahead of time, and for the launch, that's just not going to happen. They don't have enough time to get those boxes and rebox them and create new boxes, throw the Kinect out, and all that other shit. I mean, they have enough time to throw those headsets in there at the last minute because those things are small and they'll fit in there. But those Kinects, they just can't do it. They're too big, and they've already made the shipments due, and they've already got the boxes made, so they can't undo this. It's impossible. So all they can do is just sit down, button up, and just get ready for for the grand opening. And the thing is that by next year, when we see the next set of shipments go out, we may actually see Xbox Ones without Kinects and $100 cheaper. In fact, I pretty much can guarantee we'll be seeing that. There's no doubt in my mind that Microsoft is going to do it. Do I still hate Microsoft? Yes. But now Microsoft, the software, they just removed the requirement and said, yeah, we're just removing this requirement, and that's them planning for the future, but they got to get those consoles out now still. But due to manufacturing and production thing, and and they're already going out and being shipped out, they can't undo the launch of Xbox One being shipped with Kinect. They can't undo it. It's impossible. But they can do it for the next year, for when the other countries come out, which is most likely why Microsoft scaled the real reason why Microsoft scaled it all back, the release dates, because I think they're going to try to do a kind of a re-release after release, which isn't going to help save them much because they've already been scarred, the amounts of bad press that has already hit them, and the fact that they've got a fuckload of other problems that were mounted. Yes, they solved a lot of the software and the whole DRM shit, but they fucked themselves pretty fucking badly by listening to bad analysts, going with Don Matrix on all this ridiculous nonsense, and adding in these features that they should have never have added in the first place, and they can't undo it. I mean, Sony had plenty of time, and they went ahead and started taking it out because they wanted to sell cheaper PS4s on the spot. Of course, they couldn't remove the fucking light at the end of their controllers, so that mess is there. But yeah, due to shipment times and units that are already out, Microsoft can't undo this. It's just not going to happen. They've constricted themselves. And I'm not sad for Microsoft because Microsoft fucked Microsoft. They fucked themselves so badly on this. So yeah, their whole launch is a fucking complete clusterfuck in every fucking way. They cleared up a lot of it, but and then you got the new Forza game coming out, which is a real mess. And mainly because, it was supposed to use the whole cloud computing and they're trying to remove the whole cloud support now because, yeah, it's going to take a whole nother video to explain. But yeah, there you go. It's a fucking mess. It's an absolute goddamn fucking mess. And Microsoft, you got no one else to feel sorry. I mean, no one else to blame but your goddamn selves. And I don't feel sorry for you. You did this all yourself. Congratulations. You clusterfucked yourself. Yeah, you tried to fix a lot of what you did, but you still fucked yourself really bad. Dumbasses.